everyone, this is I Got Slayer, and I'm going to be doing something that I was talking about during the podcast. If you haven't gotten a chance to check it out, we are on YouTube and Spotify. Um, I wanted to go over the low to mid game best solo bosses for money. This is kind of more geared towards mid game because I feel like some of the bosses require a little bit more gear, but then again, you could do it with lower gear. And I'm going to show some of that today. So the first one that we're going to actually take a nice little look at is the Barrows brothers. This is what I said for number 5 for best, bosses to do as a solo player. Barrows brothers, there's obviously, you have Doroks, Guthans, Varroks, Carols, Torag, and Arams. Now, to do these, I'm pretty sure the only quest that you actually need is Priest and Peril quest. To do them effectively, it's really nice to have the Mortania hard diaries done. And one step further is having the max house with the portal nexus. Now, obviously, if you're doing these for money, you're not going to have that. So luckily, we're here at the Grand Exchange. And one of the things that we can do here is buy us a Barrows teleport. Super cheap. They actually teleport you right into the Barrows. I'm just going to get one of these, just for example kill. And another thing that I wanted to mention is if you have Gommel's Hilt 3, which is possible to have even on a mid account, Gommel's Hilt 3 keeps your prayer drain from happening. Now, obviously, I could use Max Mage to do this, but I'm not going to. I want to show this in some low-end gear. So, we got a Trident of the Seas. And yes, that's what we're going to use. After the update, though, wind spells are really good to use as well. So, if you have a air battle staff, that works just as well here too. Another good thing, another good note to kind of go off of, is you can wear your mystics. Actually, I'm just gonna wear my full white to do this with, and I am gonna bring my imbued cape because I feel like even on med count, that's really easy to get. We're also going to bring our occult. I won't bring the tormented. Maybe we'll just bring some Barrows gloves. They don't really give you too much of a stat bonus for magic, but actually we'll just use those. Really, in all reality, you don't need too much food for down here. I would almost suggest also bringing a whip. If you have a blowpipe, you can bring it for errands. I'm not going to worry about it for this trip. It's nice to bring a few restorers, but then you can just kind of fill this up with, some prayer potions, maybe a few sharks, and I'm going to bring my teleport to home. I also want to note that you do need to bring a spade, but I'm not too worried about that because I'll show you why. So we're going to click on this teleport tab and go to Barrows. There's 2 spades right here, right in this house, right where you teleport in. So if you forget one, it's not the end of the world. Another good method to use, besides for the teleport to house, if you don't have a max house, is getting a dual ring and going right to Fairfax Enclave, because there is the pool there. But we're just going to do it like this. I didn't even grab a ring. It's really not too bad. So, this first one, Doroks. I have my quick prayers already selected for augury and protect from melee, which you'll want to do. They're super weak to mage, so it really shouldn't take you too long. And you notice my prayer isn't dropping because I have my Gamel's hilt on. So what you want to do is kill all the brothers. One of them you won't be able to kill, and we'll see that when we get to it. So here, this is Aram's. Notice how it flashes on the one that you're killing. It's definitely a lot easier to kill with either a shadow or an air spell right now, because all the Barrows brothers are actually weak to the air spells. But you can get it done with a Trident of the Seas. And Trident of the Seas is only 750k. I know it may be a lot for some people, but it's also pretty cheap in the scheme of things. This setup really is just a few mil. Now, notice my defense is down low. Aram's will drop your defense. Gonna do a little restore there. Boom. Guthins. Now, the only one that can actually hit you when you're praying like this is Vorkath. If you are running normal spellbook, you can actually entangle. So, just for a heads up on that, you can entangle there. We're gonna go to Carols now, and if you have Runelight, you'll see where it marks them all. Doroks, Guthins, Arams, Carols, Torag, Vorkath. But this always stays the same, so you don't really have to worry about that. Doesn't matter what order you run them in. I just run it in this little succession. I know Carols is ranged, but super low defense allows you to hit through. You can also wear, if you really wanted to, especially if you're wearing the Trident in the Seas, you can wear tankier gear. For example, did buy Torag for some of the other clips that I'm going to show after this. So there we go. Carols is done, which means either Torag or Vorkath will be in the tombs. So we're going to go to Torag. Alright. So that means it will be Vorkath that we'll run into down in the tombs or at the chest. Kill him. Go back up. Now you'll use a lot more supplies if you don't have this Gamel's hilt, because it will drain your prayer every time you see one of those faces on the screen. So you have to kind of keep an eye out for that. So there, you're just going to click yes, I'm fearless, and you'll find a path. Notice how these other doors were blocked off, and they just said examine. So when you're down here, the things that you want to kill is you want to actually kill 2 skeletons and 1 of these crypt rats, if possible. See how that's blocked off? Right in there's the chest. Means I can't go that way. But that's okay, because we're going to run around, hopefully get a skeleton or 2 to pop up inside of these little... Okay, we got a crypt rat. That's cool. So then we just need 2 skeletons. You can do a bloodworm instead of the rat. They give you about the same percentage, but this gives you the best percentages of the rune to item ratio, because obviously you're kind of looking for blood runes too. Apparently we're not going to get any skeleton. Alright, there's a square. Highlights, thankfully. Looks like there's 1 skeleton already in here. If you don't get what you need, what you can do is go back and forth through a door. So that's probably what I'm going to end up doing. because I got one skeleton and I haven't gotten another yet. There we go, there's the other skeleton. This is the only part where you're really kind of bringing food for, other than Varrock, because you will get hit down here unless if you do keep your prayer on, which, So I'm going to open this, and Varrock is going to appear. We're going to get the quick kill on. Remember, Varrock can hit through prayer. Obviously, the full set, that's its status effect. So here's where this is where you'd actually need your food for. Sharks really will do, unless if you're super low level. But really, I would only suggest bringing sharks. You search the chest, and I got more loot because I had the hard tier done, which will add more runes. I believe it's 50% more runes. So you will get more for doing it like this. Let's grab our little coins and our chaos there. Well, at least the chaos. And that's it. That's a run. You go to Fairfox and right back to Barrows teleport if you have more in. Obviously, I'm not going to do that because we're going to go to the next boss. We are at the next one that I did say would be the next best boss to do. This is in Valamor. Obviously, you have to have all the quests in Valamor and Perilous Moons. Perilous Moons is the quest that allows you to do the Moons of Peril. And that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to try to do this with more of a basic equipment. I don't have a regular Fury, so I'm going to use a Charger, and also I only have my Vernic. I don't have my Dragon Defender anymore. So I'm not going to use the Bandos at least. I'm going to use my Fire Cape, and my B Ring and everything like that. I guess we'll use the Face Guard because I don't really have anything else to substitute this with for right now. I'll use at least Bandos boots just to kind of at least give somewhat of a challenge. I am using Torag's armor just to show, some of the tankier armor here. Now, I actually did do a guide on this a while back. It's definitely outdated, but we're just going to kind of do a quick run through. Super combat. We're going to just take our sharks for now. I should have bought more sharks for this video, but I'm not too worried about it. We'll use some anglers later on. This is pretty much all we need. I'm going to grab my house teleports. So, this is in Valamor. Like I said, you have to do the Moons of Peril quest. Super, super easy. It's not too bad. This is kind of your Barrows 2.0. And I'm going to do... I personally like to do the blood side first. So, forgive me. I haven't been here for a little while, so I believe this is where we go for the blood side. Yep. And we'll come over here. It's really nice that they put these, when you do the quests, you actually put these little camp spots in here. You can actually completely sustain your trips down here, which makes it so much easier. These things are the ones that drop the dual wielded weapons. But if you come in here and make a cuppa, you have a cup of tea, and now you have full run again. So, super, super nice. I like to start the blood boss first. It is the hardest boss, in my opinion. Super easy. You drink your super combat. You go in, use your best melee enhancing skill. And, alright. So, on this first one, we came in the middle of it. You're just going to dodge those pools. Come here where it's lit up. and you're just going to attack the boss. Super easy. It's going to rotate. Here we go. We're going to click to the next one. Attack. Attack. And now he's going to rotate. You click. You attack. Attack. You're going to rotate. Actually, now you have to find your Jaguar spot. You're going to hit your Jaguar. Come back. And hit your Jaguar again. Back. I'm mistiming this. There we go. You almost have to count 1, 2, 3. Hit 1, 2, 3. And that's because I was off on the time. Then you're going to go back to the circle that's highlighted. 1, 2, and then your next one, same thing. 1, 2, next, 1, 2, and it's just this. You'll just keep doing this little thing over and over again. Here we are again with the pools. You just have to dodge them. Good time to kind of heal up. Drink your prayer potions if you need to. I stayed on that for a little too long. And then boom. Now he will heal on you. As you can see, he's healing some. But once you kill him, you will immediately get transported out. You can turn off your prayer. As soon as you see him start to go down, you can have another cup of tea. And it will bring you pretty much right next to the next boss. This is the one that I like to do right after, which is the Blue Moon boss. If you have a divine combat, that might work better. You can also, like I said, sustain yourself pretty much here entirely. This one's nice and easy. I find this to be the easiest boss down here. I forgot to turn on my prayer. But I mean, you're gonna smack, especially if you're using the Fang or any stab weapon. Rapier works good here. So here's the first one. You're pretty much just going to make sure you don't take any damage from the storm. And just chill. You can go light the braziers, but it really doesn't make a difference. The only thing that it does is he's going to regain health, which is fine because you can sit here, get your prayer back up, get ready for the next spot that's going to come up. I believe it's this tile here. He heals a little bit, whatever. You're back on the tile and back to smacking him again. Now here, he's going to take your weapon. You can come here and smack these if you want to. You don't need to. But again, it does help out. You're going to get 2 hits in. See, 1, 2, and then have to move. 1, 2, and then have to move. Mark this tile because it's safe. You can't get hit by anything here. And then you're going to go right back to where it highlights and start attacking again. And it's dead. And you'll go to the next boss. Here, if you are out of food, right? So, say I am completely out. I can go here, take from fishing. There's a nice little fishing spot. And these things actually heal pretty well. I believe they're pretty close to angler. Usually you catch like 2 at a time, 2 or 3. You get your full inventory. You come over here. They pretty much one-tick cook, as you can see. And you're going to go to the next boss, which is the Eclipse Moon. So for here, just gonna eat up, take another sip of the pot, put my prayer back on. Now notice you don't have to do a protect prayer at all here. This is one of the few instances that you don't. Oh, we started right off in the... Woo! And here, if you're not fast enough at clicking, you will take damage. So as soon as you see it, you click, 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 boom. You can actually do damage to him in this phase. He can also do a lot of damage to you. But that's where the food comes into play, right? We just got a bunch of free food that we didn't even have to pay for, and it heals us pretty well. I believe it heals us 28 a fish. So that's it's like amazing. So the next one we're gonna have to, I believe, yep, we get thrown back. You can do your prayer. So here you're kind of just walk behind this thing. When it gets to the corner, I like to run around, and then I'm behind, and it did hit me. I think I still have to get that combat achievement. To be honest with you, I haven't been back here since they even added all those. I gotta do the Dragon Skimmy one, which I'm gonna do. I think that's gonna be really fun. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's gonna be wicked fun. I believe this boss is actually weak to crush. I can't remember. Really, honestly, I just use a fang the whole time. You don't really have to worry about much here. And dead. And that's going to teleport us right back out to where we just caught all that fish. If I need to resupply, look at that. I can catch my fish. You know, I can go down and make all the potions and everything like that. But I'm not worried about that because we're just going to do 1KC. If you want to look that up more, there's plenty of more in-depth guides than what I'm doing right now. Right now I'm just going to kind of show you the moneymakers that I was talking about. I believe Barrows is about a 1 mil per hour. This is about 2 mil per hour. And, I mean, really, it's not terrible. You get these quite often. The Blessed Bone Shards are awesome. This is actually how I went and did my 99 prayer. We're just going to bank all this and not worry about it. That's one cool thing, is that you can bank all of this stuff. So, we'll actually go to the next boss, which is Zulrah. The reason why I put Zulrah and muspah at 3 and 2 is because I believe, in my opinion, they have a increased requirement for gear. We'll see you there. Alright, I'm all geared up for Zulrah. I don't have the Serpentine Helm, so I'm going to bring an Anti-Venom Plus. Just a few prayer pots, restore, divine ranging, and obviously the rings of recoil. I'm going to also show you how I get to Zulrah. Now, obviously, there are the Zolo teleports and everything like that, but we're not going to worry about that. We're just going to actually use our home teleport and use the fairy ring. I haven't done Zola in a while. I really don't have many KC here. Didn't really like the boss. But hey, it's definitely a decent moneymaker. Not as good as 2024 as it was previously. It's had so many bots. You bring the recoil for the little snakelings. Obviously, a suffering's a lot better if you have the money to afford it. Really think, in my opinion, to do this efficiently and effectively, you kind of need crystal and a Bofa, at least, bare minimum. So what you'll do, you'll drink your divine. We'll make sure our quick prayers are set up for this, and we'll start it with that, even though it's probably going to be that. So actually, we'll just keep it like that. And we drink our divine. Go through here, and we'll quick board off the Zulrah. I run back here and personally turn this on. Now Zulrah will automatically start doing this. Drink my little anti-venom. Alright, so I was right. It started off with Mage. You're going to have these snakelings sit here and they're going to attack you. I am not the best at Zulrah, so forgive me if I'm terrible at this. But looks like we had a little bit of a range attack in there. We're going to come over here because he is going to switch to range. Almost like, you almost kind of rotate every single time he moves. We're going to come over here, just back a little bit further. And he's on his mage phase now. Once you get these rotations down for Zulrah, it's like super easy. But it's also kind of a pain because you don't hit all the time. I'm going to come all the way over here. Technically, you can hide behind these pillars and he can't hit you. Little side note. Yep, back to a range phase. So, this is nice because you're camping Bofa. It's all you need to bring. Oop, stepped into the toxins. Now we gotta come all the way back over here. So we're gonna switch to mage phase yet again. Notice how you can still get hit by range. It's kind of annoying because you take so much damage from the snakelings to Zulrah Jad phasing. You obviously can, circumvent that. Be nice if I could hit. Must be I changed a tick too late. And there we go. Been a while since I've done that. But you always get Zulrah scales. And, I mean, it's really not too bad a loot. You look at that, you got a Dragon Med, Zulrah scales, and that. I mean, that was 164k. Obviously, there's worse loot, and, well, it's Zulrah, right? Zulrah is a pain to kill. It's, in my opinion, one of the worst bosses on the list. But, you get good at it, you can definitely make some money with it. So, that being said, we're going to go to our next one. Right after we get geared up again. The next one we're going to do usually gives a little bit more money per hour because it drops the Venator Shard. And that is Phantom Muspah. I still have my full crystal on. Sarah High boots. The other thing I did add was Sapphire Bolt's E. This is for its last phase and the Dragon Crossbow. I'm actually going to do one more thing because in the Bofa only, in my opinion, you really want to have some thralls. So let's grab all of this. Nope. If I can click, that'd be great. Should be this one for thralls, and I want to grab my mage cape to go to. There we are. So we'll use the thralls to help chip down muspah the whole time we are in the fight. Trying to think. I'm only gonna do a kill here, so this should be good. If you're not, you can definitely add more like prayer potions or restores in here to help extend your trip. also don't need this staff. I don't know why I have it on me. So we'll just grab another restore just in case. I do have a stamina potion if you're going to do the run around the room method, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to kind of show you. It's muspah's not terrible to do. Just make sure you're behind the pillars and try to set everything up right. There's also tiles that you can mark to keep you safe during one of its phases when its health is down low. So let me show you how I get there. This is the nice thing about having a max house. So if you know someone that actually has the max house and you're trying to grind this, this is great. So, gotta do my herb run still. You teleport, you get right there, you can go right through here. Get down a little bit closer, I'm gonna pop my stamina here in a minute. Just that way I don't have any delay of waiting to get in there to do muspah. Muspah is one of it's one of those bosses where it's weird, where sometimes it feels like it's super easy and then other times it feels like it's a pain. I'm going to keep my mage in range because when I come in here, actually I probably could set this to boom, boom. So it's actually going to start as a melee phase. So for the melee phase, you just have to be separated from it. I'm going to summon a thrall. And for Bofa, you're just trying to keep your distance. As long as you keep your distance, you won't take damage from this. The only thing you can really take damage from is the range phase, and you have to watch out for the mage attacks. Now, with Bofa only, obviously it's a little bit slow, but it's definitely viable. Personally, like using a T-bow here. Definitely have used a T-bow here, and we'll say the kills are so much better. But like I said, you're keeping distance. You know, you can do whatever you need to do, and when you get so below, he drops those things down. Now, as soon as he switches, it turns green. That's your range phase. Honestly, you seem to hit so much better when he's in the range phase. Not gonna lie. So, boom. We're gonna have to summon another thrall. Now, thralls last for a minute, so if this isn't gonna tell you, probably gonna summon at least 3, maybe 4. And this is kind of like how you do like a solo Saradomin. Obviously, Saradomin I think is kind of at the same level as doing these. I feel like this is a little bit easier because you're not worried about all the Saradomin minions. You're not taking a bunch of chip damage. You know, really, relatively, you shouldn't take too much damage at all. Because you're keeping space from muspah. You're doing the chip damage. You are only being close when he's in this range phase. You know, it's kind of like, okay, this is the one where I said you want to be here because you won't take any damage whatsoever, and you just get free shots off. You're getting that damage without getting damaged yourself. Gonna do one of these again. I had to back up because he was changing his phases. When he changes his phases, he will spawn these little spikes. When you do get him low enough, as you'll see very soon, you'll have to watch out for his special attack. That attack will hit you for a lot. Make sure that you do not get hit by it. I already got a thrall up, didn't I? I did. So this is where he's going to do his special attack. You're going to switch to protect from rage, switch over to your crossbow. You have to do your prayer, whatever, do it there. Because this is where he is going to do his shield attack. Now there is protect from mage. Whenever he does that and raises his hands up, he's going to shoot a mage ball at you. It will hurt your prayer. Now the Sapphire Bolt E, if they proc, like right there, will drop that further. It will hit that shield and knock it down. And boom, knocked it down nice for us. So we're going to switch back to Bofa. Sit there on our prayer. And right now, you're pretty much just waiting to make sure he doesn't shoot a mage attack out and avoiding those spikes. Pretty simple. And there we are. Must be done. And look at that. I guess we got a Venonator shard off of that. Nice little 15 mil right there. So as you can see, this boss can be worth money. Not always. But yep, we'll go to the next one, which I think is one of the best money makers in the game. Let's get out of here first. And that's just because he's so consistent. So, we'll meet you there. Also going to sell this real quick. So why don't we do that? See what it sells for. I haven't gotten a Venonator shard in forever. It says it's selling for 16. Yeah, sold for 16 mil. Geared up for our 5th and final boss, Vorkath. Now, you may be wondering why Vorkath is above muspah. I would say part of it's gear, because the Dragon Hunter Lance is half the price of just the Bofa itself, negating the crystal armor as well. So it's a little bit cheaper to get into. Obviously, you can do muspah with a crossbow. You can do it with an armor crossbow just fine. Just like you can actually do Vorkath with a fang just fine. If you do have a Dragon Hunter Lance, that's great. So I'm just going to kind of go over my gear. Obviously, I have my face guard. If you don't have that, Nazi helm or even Serpentine helm is probably one of the best. Fire cape. The salve amulet is one of the most important things to have, at least the enchanted amulet. It will help with melee against undead, which Vorkath is. Now, I just have a Torag's body on, Barrows gloves. You can use dragon boots. I got my prims, and obviously you can switch this out with a DFS or even a dragon defender. Inventory, super combat, extended super anti-fire, and an anti-venom plus. Few prayer potions. My room pouch for Crumble Undead. I do not have a Slayer staff because you do not need it as much as it is really easy, but to save inventory, you really don't need it. So we're gonna go and do an example kill. I actually have my house right in Relica. To me, that makes sense. So you could just pop out and run straight up to Vorkath. The other thing you could probably do is the Lunar Isle teleport. Just talk to someone and you're put right back here. So either way really works. Totally up to you. You can also use I believe it's a hard set of the rewards, but just kind of showing, you really don't even need max house to put your house in Relica. I believe it's a certain level though, but it's not really. It's only 10k to put it there anyways, so not really too worried about it. But here we are. We're going to turn off our run. You want that off. I'm also going to move that so I don't accidentally click that, hopefully. You're going to come in. Notice it's completely docile. You'll do your super combat, your super anti-fire, your anti-venom, set up your quick prayers to do magic, and your best melee. Then you're going to poke him. There's way more in-depth guides, but I'm just kind of showing that you can do this with any gear whatsoever. It's really not too bad. You just gotta watch out for that one. And when he tips his head back to do the giant fireball like that, you have to be 2 tiles away. So here, boom, we're just gonna click to the ground, come undead, click the spawn. Here I sip prayer, and then right back into it. If you click him too early, you won't actually do any damage to him. I don't know if it's like a delay or if it's a bug, but yeah. You're gonna obviously take damage here. So if you want to use anglers, go ahead. This is his acid phase, and this is you can learn how to do this. This is the Wook's walk. It's really not too bad. It's pretty easy to do. The other thing you can do is just walk. It will take your kills. Your kills will take a little bit more time if you just walk around, but do what you're comfortable with. When you're learning, I would 100% say just walk back and forth. Do not keep and don't run because you'll end up getting hit. But just walk. Wook's walking will cut down your timer. And boom. As long as you're not attacking him, you will get that spawn killed before it does any damage to you. If you hit him and don't click off of him, you're going to take some damage from that spawn. And it's going to hurt. Really, the only thing... That thing and the giant fireball are the only things you really have to really worry about. The acid phase, once you get it down, isn't so bad. If you don't have it down, it will destroy you. It can hit pretty hard, pretty consistently, because obviously it's going pretty fast. The true tile indicators, if you have Runelight, are a blessing for this, because they'll make it so you actually see where you are, versus, just gotta be 2 tiles away. That thing can hit you pretty hard, and he can just keep spamming them out. And there we are. That's 1 kill. You don't use a lot of supplies, and I mean, here we are. I'm just gonna pick everything up so we can show a kill. I don't care about these sharks. And this is pretty consistent for loot wise, in my opinion, from Vorkath. 188k. I mean, and it took us, how long? 2 minutes. And even with this amount of stuff that I have in there, I mean, obviously I just ate 4 sharks to do this. You can sit here for 5 kills easily with just Thorax gear and a Dragon Hunter Lance. Now, you can do the same thing with the Fang, but it is a little bit slower. You'll want to have full potions when you come in here. It doesn't hit as high as the Dragon Hunter Lance, but it's definitely worth it. We're going to go back to the Grand Exchange, sell the loot off, just real quick. And then we're going to end this episode, or this guide. I'll be definitely doing a lot more guides like this. If there's something else you'd really like to see, even if it's like a beginner TOA, just to kind of walk through rooms or anything like that, just let me know. But this is a good money-making guide for your mid-game accounts. These are solo bosses. You don't have to rely on anyone else, and you will make a profit. Alright, until next time, this is I Got Slayer out.